Mornings aren't for rushing, they're for resetting. A calm start psychology guide, have you? Ever noticed how the first 10 minutes of your morning seem to decide the emotional tone of your entire day? Before your feet even touch the floor, your mind is already moving, scrolling, worrying, planning, reacting. The alarm goes off, and within seconds you're in a race. A race against time, a race against expectations, a race against the version of you that feels like it's always slightly behind. But what if mornings were never meant to be rushed? What if the morning isn't a starting gun but a reset button? Today we're going to explore the psychology behind calm mornings, why rushing rewires your brain for stress, how small, intentional rituals reshape your identity, and how a gentle start can quietly transform your confidence, clarity, and emotional resilience. Because mornings aren't for surviving, they're for becoming one. The hidden psychology of a rushed morning: when you wake up and immediately grab your phone, check emails, or think about deadlines, your brain activates its threat detection system. The amygdala lights up, cortisol rises. Your nervous system shifts into low-grade fight-flight mode. And here's the subtle danger. Your brain doesn't distinguish between I'm late and I'm unsafe. A rushed morning trains your nervous system to believe that life is something to brace against. Over time, this becomes your baseline state. You feel slightly on edge, slightly reactive, slightly impatient. Not because your life is chaotic, but because your mornings are, psychologically. The first 20 to 30 minutes after waking are what researchers call a neuroplastic window. Your brain is transitioning from slower brainwave states into full alertness. In this period, your mind is unusually suggestible. The emotional tone you experience then sets the pattern for how your brain filters. The rest of the day, if the first input is stress, your brain scans for more stress. If the first input is calm, your brain searches for steadiness. Rushing doesn't just waste peace, it programs tension. And if you repeat that pattern daily, it becomes identity level. You don't just feel rushed, you become someone who is always rushing. But identity is not fixed. It is rehearsed, and that means it can be rewritten too. Calm. It's a skill, not a personality trait. Many people say, I'm just not a calm person. But calm isn't something you are, it's something you practice. The nervous system learns through repetition. When you deliberately slow your breathing, when you stretch instead of scroll, when you sip water before caffeine, you are sending a biological message. There is no emergency. Over time, your brain begins to believe you. Psychologists call this bottom-up regulation, changing your mental state by influencing the body first. Slow breathing activates the vagus nerve.
Up.
Movement reduces cortisol. Natural light stabilizes circadian rhythms. These are not self-help cliches. They are measurable physiological shifts. And here's what's powerful. You don't need an hour-long morning routine. You need intention. 2 minutes of slow breathing. 5 minutes of journaling. Quiet cup of coffee without a screen. These micro moments of regulation build emotional authority. You become less reactive, not because your life is easier, but because you're nervous. System is steadier, and steadiness is power. When you begin your day calmly, you're not being unproductive. You're building psychological leverage. You are training your mind to respond instead of react. 3. The identity shift. From behind to becoming, there is a silent story many people carry in the morning. I'm already late. I should be further ahead. I don't have enough time. This story shapes posture, tone, decisions, but here's a radical reframe. The morning is not proof that you're behind. It's proof that you're beginning. Every sunrise is psychologically symbolic. It signals renewal. Humans are deeply responsive to symbolic cues. That's why rituals matter. They tell your brain who you are. When you wake up and move slowly with intention, you're reinforcing a new identity. I am someone who starts with clarity. I am someone who honors my energy. I am someone who chooses my state. Identity-based. Psychology shows that behavior sticks when it aligns with who you believe you are. Instead of saying, I'm trying to be calmer, you shift to, I am becoming someone grounded. And every calm morning becomes evidence. Evidence compounds. One gentle morning feels small. 30 gentle mornings feel like transformation. You don't need dramatic life changes. You need consistent emotional tone. The version of you who handles stress better, speaks more thoughtfully, makes wiser decisions doesn't emerge in crisis. They emerge in quiet mornings. For the power of the first. Input. Think of your mind like a canvas. The first brushstroke matters. If your first input is news, alerts, social media comparison, or work anxiety, you are painting your day with urgency before you even stand up. But if your first input is silence, reflection, or gratitude, you are painting with intention. This is called cognitive priming. The first information your brain processes influences what it notices next. If you begin with overwhelm, your brain looks for more overwhelm. If you begin with focus, your brain looks for opportunities to stay focused. So ask yourself, what is the first voice you hear each morning? Is it someone else's opinion or your own awareness? A calm start doesn't mean perfection. It means protection. Protecting your mental space before the world enters it. You don't have to reject technology. You don't have to wake up at 5 a.m. You don't have to follow a complicated routine. You only need one rule. No reaction before intention. Before you respond to the world, check in with yourself. How do I want to feel today? What matters most? What kind of person am I practicing being? These questions anchor your identity before the day tries to define it for you. 5. Resetting. Is not laziness, it's leadership. There's a cultural myth that productivity equals speed, but speed without direction leads to exhaustion. High performers in psychology studies often share one trait: deliberate pacing. They protect transition moments. They don't sprint into the day. They orient themselves first. A reset is not avoidance, it's calibration. Pilots don't rush takeoff without checking systems. Athletes don't compete without warming up. Musicians don't perform without tuning. Why should your mind be any different? A calm morning is mental tuning. It aligns your values with your actions. It connects your intentions with your schedule. It transforms scattered energy into focused momentum. When you rush, you start reactive. When you reset, you start aligned. And alignment reduces decision fatigue. It reduces impulsive choices, reduces emotional volatility. In other words, calm mornings don't make you slower. They make you sharper. A simple calm start framework. If you want something practical, try this 3-step reset. 1. Breathe before you move. 3 slow breaths. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 6. Signal safety. 2. Light before screen. Open a window. Step outside. Let natural light hit your eyes before blue light hits your brain. Point 3. Intention before information. Write 1 sentence. Today I choose to be calm, focused, patient, present. That single word becomes your compass. It sounds simple because it is, and simplicity is sustainable. The long-term impact. Imagine yourself 1 year from now. Same job, similar responsibilities, but different baseline. Energy, less reactive, more deliberate. More grounded in conversations, more thoughtful in decisions. What changed? Not your entire life, just your mornings. Identity transformation rarely begins with dramatic action. It begins with repeated emotional states. Calm, repeated daily, becomes character, and character shapes destiny. You don't need a new year. You don't need a new planner. You don't need a new personality. You need a new beginning. Tomorrow morning is waiting not for you to rush into it, but for you to reset within it. A gentle invitation. If this message resonated with you, take a moment right now, not to scroll, not to rush, but to pause. Close your eyes for 10 seconds, breathe, notice how quickly your body responds to gentleness. That response is proof. Calm is already inside you. It just needs space. Here at Awaken Mindset, we believe transformation doesn't begin with pressure. It begins with awareness. With small shifts that compound over time, mornings that are intentional instead of automatic. If you're ready to build a mindset rooted in clarity, resilience, and quiet confidence, stay connected. Explore more conversations about identity, emotional strength, and conscious living. Because every morning, you're not just starting a day, you're shaping a self. And the version of you that feels steady, empowered, and aligned are built in the quiet. See you in the next reset.